Good afternoon. Russell of Hotels going live with that show called On Air with Russell of Hotels. You know that live hospitality talk show everyone's talking about? Appreciate you guys joining us. It's show number 241. Today is Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. Hope you guys are doing well. Did I say that already? But anyway, hey, this is the monologue first before I get to the show, right? But I just want to come on and say, hey, welcome you to the show. Making sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to. I'm live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and X, and maybe sometimes even Instagram. I'm not sure if IG is working today, but hey, if we are, that's a good thing, right? So, hey, let me turn on the comment section here. So feel free to make your comments. This is an interactive show. It's not just me spewing out information and all that kind of stuff, or just hear myself talk, or however you want to put it. But no, it's I put on the comments, so feel free to make your comments as you will. I put those on the screen. I'm live from LA, just in case you did not know, but let me just make sure while I got you here, make sure I am live on the platforms I said I am live on. I always look at LinkedIn for as a there you go. So I'm live on LinkedIn. So if I'm live on LinkedIn, I'm live on everything else, right? So everything else is good, but hope you guys are having a great Tuesday. And let's see. Did I say this is a monologue before I get into the show? Yeah, I think so. Let's see. What else did I have to do before I came on here? You may ask before I get into the show. You may ask, hey, what do you talk about? What you talk about? It's a live hospitality talk show. Well, what things do you talk about, Russell of Hotels? Well, you know what? That's funny. You should ask that. Cause the last six things I talked about, and this could be on air with Russell of Hotels, or I do a daily check-in with Russell of Hotels, which I do that on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. On air with Russell of Hotels, this show is on every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, okay? Hence, that's why we're here today, right? But some of the things I talk about. One thing I did talk about in the last week or so, the little things make a big difference. I'll let you know what that means. Little things do make a big difference, especially when it comes to hotels and hotel sales managers. You know, those little things that you do that you don't think are a big deal, but when they come across to a meeting planner or hotel site selection person like myself, it's a huge thing, right? I'll talk about that after this intro here. Are you communicating with your hotel partners or your CVB partners, hotel partners? Are you communicating with them? That's another thing I talked about. Hotel sales, potential business. I actually gave you a blueprint for some business a couple of weeks ago, right? I'm like, hey, this business is there, it's ready. It was more from a national sales standpoint, but I gave everything. It was there. I was there and I saw it, but it was a place that I didn't have. There was no hotel presence. I was at this trade show and there was no hotel presence there. I said, this would be perfect for a hotel national salesperson or a company to be here. You should go back and take a look. I thought it was kind of dope that I even did that, right? Choosing a destination. What are the things that you should think about when the company or organization is planning a meeting in a destination? What things should you think about? Building your personal brand. You know, big on building personal brands via social media, right? Like this, right? How do you do that? What are some of the things that maybe I did starting off when I, knew nothing, no one knew me, that kind of stuff? And what about building credibility? Once you build that personal brand, what makes you credible? Who's going to listen to you? Why are they going to listen to you? But anyway, I talked about those things too. So those are just a few things that I talk about during these things. It's not just all about, me spewing out information. It's not just about, things that are going on in and around hotels. Yeah, but you got to build stuff up. You got to build credibility to talk about hotels, right? What about choosing a destination? These are things that people want to know, right? At least that's what people tell me. So anyway, so that's it for now, right? I'm going to get into, I see a comment there. Hold on one second. I'm out of the element here, but just wanted to say, you're never out of the element, okay? So stay tuned in, Andrew, and maybe I may talk about some stuff that you may have knowledge of or you can interject or whatever. So always feel free to come on and make your comments and be known. I mean, because that's what it's all about, right? So I'm never going to slight anybody for coming on and, well, what are you doing here? No. I appreciate everybody that comes on and has a comment or has something to say. So just like Andrew made a comment, he's out there in Italy, Ancona, Italy. And just like I put his comments out there, I'll put your comments up there as well. So anyway, I'm gonna put you on hold for 1 second. We're gonna do a brief intro, and I'll be right back to start the show on air with Russell of Hotels, right? That live hospitality talk show. Everybody's talking about it, right? So just hold tight, and we're gonna do the intro, and then we'll be good. Boom.
Welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations, before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship-building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Hello again. Thank you so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels, that live hospitality talk show. Today is show number 241, and once again, it's Tuesday, February 20th, 2024. Appreciate you guys, taking a couple minutes out of your day just to say, hey, what is this Russell of Hotels about? Who the heck is he, and what is he talking about? So I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Andrew Kagan out there in Ancona, Italy. I appreciate you tuning in, and yeah, you interject more than what you think, and you're definitely not out of your element, okay? Anyone that travels, that knows hotels, is not out of their element, okay? And I see Miss Dee Dee Ector. Thank you so much, Dee Dee, for coming on. Hello, cousin. How are you? I'll put your comments on there as well. She's on Facebook. Both Andrew and Dee Dee are Delia, excuse me. Okay, she's Dee Dee to us. Okay, so her real name is Ardelia, but it's Dee Dee. Okay, because that's when it's family. You go by their nicknames, right? But no, thank you so much for coming on. I do appreciate that. I hope all is well where you are. Hey, it's raining here, right? It's been raining on and off all day. In fact, I can hear the rain now. It's been raining like crazy here in LA. I didn't realize that my patio outside was leaking until I just walked outside a couple of minutes ago. I'm like, what the heck? And I have a TV out there, right? And I'm like, I had to cover it up. So I didn't realize that it was leaking there. So, but anyway, so it's been raining on and off for the last couple of days. And then I guess we had kind of a reprieve because it rained last week too. So it rained like 3 consecutive days. And I think it's supposed to started raining yesterday, and it's supposed to rain, through tomorrow is what they say. So, but we'll see. But you know what? Free water is good water, right? So anytime I can water my grass or get my grass watered and I don't have to go out there and do it, or turn on the sprinkler system, that's a good thing, right? So, but no, thank you so much. Chris, how are you doing, Chris Black? Chris Black is starting to be a staple here, and I appreciate you coming on, cousin. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. All is good here, man. All is good, other than the rain, but we'll get through that. Chris is out there in Vegas. Let's see. Dee Dee says, family rock. Yep. I appreciate all the love and support from family. You know what? And nothing, if you can get family to buy off on stuff, that's a good thing, right? So I appreciate you, family. Thank you so much. Andrew, but you're going to water your lawn on Sunday just the same. No, I'm not. I haven't watered I haven't watered my grass in 2 weeks. And that's serious right there. In at least 2 weeks. So because it's been raining like crazy. So, free water. The only thing that I regret before the rain came, I didn't throw any fertilizer out there. Normally I would throw some fertilizer out there and just let it just soak in, get that soak, and then when the sun comes out, give it a couple of days, then you're going to get a much greener lawn. Okay, just FYI for people out there. Yes, I do spend a little time out, in in the yard as well. I see my brother Stacy is there. No rain here. Rain hates Blythe. Yeah, isn't that funny? The place that needs water the most doesn't get any. It's like the clouds. Do the clouds miss Blythe? It's at least cloudy there, right? Because it's been cloudy, and it's funny. I thought the clouds were going east, thinking, okay, they're going to hit Blythe, but obviously not. So that's something right there. Raining in Vegas, thank you so much. Chris, again, I see Marsha there too. Should you be teaching the kids, Marsha? I believe the children are our future. Let's see. Why can't I? Okay, there we go. So Marsha says, rain in Moreno Valley. Okay, all right. So you're not too far from here. So prep. I don't know what that means. You're preparing for the students. Okay, all right. Get your prep on. So appreciate everybody coming on. See, I take the time to talk to people. Put their comments on the screen. So feel free to come on and say hey, say something. Just like these people are saying stuff. I appreciate them. They may be family, but hey, it doesn't matter. You got to start somewhere, right? So no, I appreciate anybody that comes on and just gives me a shout out and things like that. Speaking of shout outs, okay, we're gonna jump into it now. Okay, so a couple of days ago, I was talking about hold on one second. I see a comment here. How does Miriam get her future B&B off the ground? She's got one family from France who rents it for the month on the summer. Let me see. What is it saying? How does Miriam get her future B&B off the ground? Well, is it ready? Is it ready to okay, the family comes in. What happens when the family leaves? Does she advertise it? Is she putting it on, is she advertising on anything? I mean, if you're ready to go, start taking pictures. Has you taken photos first? Let's get that part taken care of first and find those, the sites, the B&B sites, Airbnb or whatever. Are you going to Airbnb it? Do they have Airbnb in Italy? What do they have? What particular marketing sites for, I guess, Airbnbs do they have in your area in Italy? So maybe we start with there, but take some nice photos first before we even get started. No photos? Okay, there you go. Let's start with that. Let's start taking photos. Let's start taking some videos. Do you have a little website? What about, do you have a presence on social media? Do you have an Instagram page? A lot of people go on Instagram and TikTok. People love a clever TikTok video about, the space that you're renting in Ancona. So that's how I would do it. Where's Ancona? Give me a little history about Ancona. What's to do in Ancona? Not just the Airbnb, pictures of the Airbnb, but what about the area of Ancona? Show the surrounding area, show the markets that you go to, and how you shop daily for certain things and all that kind of stuff. Show the details or some of the fun stuff that happens around the Airbnb, not necessarily just the Airbnb. Of course, yes, you want to show pictures, photos of the Airbnb itself, but I'm just reading some emails too. So, but anyway, yeah. So, yeah, let's start with that. And then offline, you can always give me a call, Andrew. You know that, right? So you can always give me a call or whatever, and we can go from there. So create a full promo package. I didn't say a full promo package, but take some photos and videos, some nice photos and videos, and specifically things around the Airbnb, things to do. Why do people come to Ancona? I don't know, or the city that you're in. I know that's kind of the region, but the city that you're in, why do they come there? What is it known for? Is it known for something? Because people will pick the destination first, and then, of course, they're going to look for either Airbnb or a hotel second, right? But they're coming there for something. People are coming to Ancona for a reason. So find out what that is. I mean, I know you know, but take photos of that, take videos of that, and just short form videos. I mean, nothing too long, just little snapshots here, that kind of thing, because no one has time to just really go through a lot of different things. But I would take, the entire Airbnb, the rooms, the bedding, the living room, the kitchen, all that kind of stuff. So there you go. That's a start. So, okay, let's see. Where was I? Chris says, hey. Andrew says, okay. He's, his wife is, developing an Airbnb. She's ready. Okay. So those are his comments. So I always want to put the comments there. No advertising. Yeah, you can put advertising out there as well if that's the question. But like I said, start with taking the photos first. Get all your stuff together first before you, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. No, let's do it a plan. Let's step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Okay. Step 1, let's take a lot of photos and videos. Okay. And then step 2, let's find out which, is it Airbnb or what sites do they use there in Italy to advertise for your Airbnbs, okay, or your B&B, bed and breakfast, excuse me. Is it a true traditional B&B, bed and breakfast, meaning you're giving bed and you're making breakfast for them, or you're giving them danishes and pastries and all that kind of stuff? Is that a true thing that you're doing? Because B&B, see, people kind of use that interchangeable, like it's an Airbnb or it's a B&B. Which one is it? Because there's two different things we're talking. The traditional B&B is that you're supplying the room or the space, and then you're giving them breakfast in the morning. Bed and breakfast, that's what it stands for, right? So is it a true that or what? So there you go. And I'm done with that. So so no advertising. No, I didn't say yeah. Definitely do some advertising. So nothing. Okay, that's fine. Tracy Carter. I know who you are. You ain't got to tell me who you are. I hope you are well out there in Jersey. Appreciate you reaching out to me. That's so cool right there. Haven't talked to him in a while. I think I talked to him the first of the year. I think I said at least a, Happy New Year. I'm so right. So creative, so create a full promo package. Yeah, I mean, just let's start. Let's start. And I think I gave you 2 things to work. You don't have any of those things now, right? So let's get those 2 things taken care of, those 2 steps first, Andrew, and then we'll go from there. Okay, let's do that. He says, perfect. She wants it to be perfect first because she's scared of getting bad reviews. Well, the bad reviews will come once they come there and something doesn't go right. That's where the bad reviews come. They're not going to give you bad reviews because, you put some pictures, some photos and all that. You got to get things ready before you get to that point. Okay, so let's get things ready before. Now, I can't control what happens once they get there. So make sure, it's lived in first, meaning you stayed in it first and, you experience what everybody else experiences. Or let her family experience it and see what can they improve on? What things do they look for? You know what I mean? So have family stay there. And let family get everything out, iron everything out before you kind of open it up to the public, if that makes sense at all. So, but nothing's ever going to be perfect. Sorry. What are you sorry for? I'm not sure what. So what's the shout out? I'm going to get there. Just relax. I got to, this is the thing. First of all, it's my show, okay? So let me get to it. I mean, we'll get to it. We're going to get to the shout out. So quick shout out to... Visit Omaha. So quick shout out to Visit Omaha, Miss Jessica Setjay. Now I hope I'm saying that correctly. She's a tourism sales manager at Visit Omaha. Okay, so I'm real quick. I did a daily check-in, my daily check-in with Russell of Hotels yesterday, and why I did this, why I chose Visit Omaha. They sent me a package. So Jessica sent me like a package a couple of days ago, last week, right? I didn't open it until Thursday of last week. I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know it was something from Visit Omaha, right? So the package was, had a lot of information on it about, Omaha, the package, the outside of the package, opened up the package, it has, some specifics of, Visit Omaha, how many rooms are in Omaha, how many hotels, how many rooms, how much the convention center, square footage and all that kind of stuff. So the reason why she sent me this, right, and I make a big deal out of this stuff because I used to be in hotel sales, as you guys know. So the reason I made a big deal about this is because it goes back to about a month and a half ago. I was in South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, for a conference. It was called IPEC, IPEC, which stands for Independent Planners Educational Conference. I'm an independent planner, right? So I don't belong to a Helms Briscoe or a Conference Direct. I'm independent. I form my own company, okay? So I'm independent along with a couple other people that were there, another 100 or so other people that were there. There's 250 people at this conference, okay? So everyone like myself has appointments, okay? The appointments are 15 minutes and you have 30 appointments for 2 days. So on the second day, I had an appointment with Visit Omaha, and they weren't there. I don't know if they had to leave. It was an emergency situation. I don't know. I don't know the situation. All I know is I got to the table and there was nobody there. Basically, a note there: "We're not here. We had to leave." I don't know. I don't even remember. I said, "Okay, well that's 15 minutes, right?" So I have 15 minutes to go to the bathroom, get something to drink or whatever. So that's really where my mind was, right? So I didn't say anything about it. Okay, that's okay. I understand. Stuff happens. Okay. So went on with life. Okay. So I go back home 2 weeks. I've been, 2 weeks, a month or whatever. And then last Tuesday, I get this package in the mail. I don't even open it right away. I open it on Thursday. So just a couple of days ago, I opened it and it was from Visit Omaha. And this is what the note said. Okay. So I have the note right here. Okay. I have the note card right here. Okay. You see that? That's the note card, right? So I'll read it. So I had the note, and it's handwritten first of all. So I open up the box, and there's this handwritten note in there. Now, you guys know I'm over the moon when it comes to handwritten notes because I think it's a lost art, okay, that people actually take the time to handwrite a postcard. Most people are emailing you, like, oh, email it, okay, that's fine. 99% of people email. Less than 1% of people send cards like this. So, of course, I'm going to remember that, right? So it says, Russell, I wanted to send you a small gift since we missed our appointment at IPEC last month. I hope you enjoy a few of our Omaha favorites. So I'm like, what? Are you serious? So I was just excited and over the moon about getting this package. Didn't matter what was in there, although there was soap, there was loose leaf tea, there was aroma, like kind of aromatherapy, all this kind of stuff, right? It was cool stuff, right? I was like, this is it, and it really had nothing to do with the content. It had to do with how it made me feel when I received it, right? Because she didn't forget that she didn't meet with me, right? I kind of forgot, but she followed up. And if you're a sales manager, you want to make an impact on somebody, send them a handwritten card with a gift or whatever. She could have just sent a handwritten card and I would have been over the moon. So it had really nothing to do with the package that she sent. I mean, that's nice. I appreciate that. But just taking the time and letting me know that, hey, my bad. We had an appointment. I was unable to make it, but hey, here is my gift and here's information about, Visit Omaha. Omaha, Nebraska was not on my radar. I hate to say it. Well, I don't hate to say it, but that's reality, right? Well, guess what? Now it is. Now Jessica Setjay is on my radar with Visit Omaha. So anytime I remember Visit Omaha, who am I thinking about? Jessica. Anytime Jessica Setjay's name comes up, what am I going to think about? Visit Omaha. So that's what it's all about, right? So I appreciate that. And when I say I'm giving someone a shout out, darn it, I'm going to give somebody a shout out. So I appreciate Visit Omaha. If you have any questions at all, go to visitomaha.com. You got questions at all, just contact Jessica. Just let her know that I forward this information to you. So, there you go. So, no, I appreciate that. And let's move on. Boom. Las Vegas ADR during the Super Bowl week. Guess what it was? Well, it's right there. You don't have to guess, right? $747. That was the ADR, the average daily rate. Okay, so the average for every hotel that in Vegas during Super Bowl week, which is this last week, right? Was that last week or week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it was $747. Okay, so meaning there was some a lot higher than $700, and there's a few of them that were lower, right? But the average was $747. Now, that's a Super Bowl record, right, for ADR, right? So, but the nearest one was in 2020 in Miami. When the Super Bowl was in Miami, the ADR was $563. So that's almost $200 more, right? So things on the upswing, yeah, but we're talking Vegas too, though. Vegas is going to be over the top all the time, right? So, I mean, LA's was probably nowhere near that. I mean, LA was probably nowhere near $500. It's probably I would say $400 to $500 and maybe $50 somewhere around there. That was probably the ADR in LA when the Super Bowl was here. But Vegas, $747, that does not surprise me at all. So you go Vegas, okay? And definitely you weren't going to get any of my money during Super Bowl. But, hey, Shout out to all the people that did and gave to the Vegas economy. We appreciate you, or they appreciate you. So moving on. Okay, so I always have a topic, right? So today's topic is why communication and transparency with clients is so important. I talk to clients all the time, and I talk to other people that do the same things that I do, meeting planners or whatever, independent people, right? And they say, "Oh no, I don't tell my clients certain things. Certain things they'll withhold from their client." And I say, "Well, in that, don't you risk like losing some credibility if they find out?" That's the last thing you there's something that they need to know, and then you don't let them know until maybe later when you have to, and at that point they've already figured things out, right? No, I say no. From day one, from any communication with the hotel or a CVB or like a contractor or whatever, another contractor, I'm gonna make sure my client knows exactly what's going on, because I'm trying to build credibility. I want him or her to trust me. I want this to be a long-term relationship, not just a one-time thing, right? So the one thing that I'm always transparent about is, the correspondence back and forth via email and things like that. I always make sure I copy my client, right? But first and foremost, I'll let them know that how I'm getting paid. How am I to be compensated, right? Because for the most part, I'm a contractor, right? So I'm a third party, and they hire me to find their hotel sites, right? So I'm a hotel site selection expert, specialist, or whatever, right? So what I let them know is that if I'm getting paid, if I'm charging my client, of course they know, okay, I'm charging you, $1,500 for this, to source your meeting, okay? So it takes me time to do that, right? And a lot of times, why do I charge that? People are asking, why do you charge that? Because sometimes the client, sometimes they don't know that your time is valuable, right? So they'll, put you through all these things. They'll say, okay, we want this meeting. And then all of a sudden they pull out and say, oh, we're not going to have the meeting now. Well, now, normally I don't get paid until the meeting's over. So if the meeting is in 2 years, I don't get paid for 2 years. So don't you think I should be compensated something for doing the sourcing, to finding these hotels and all that stuff? So, okay, so I charge for that. And then I also get a commission from the hotel. So I make sure ahead of time, because I have to tell them ahead of time because it's in the contract. I want it to be in the contract so they can see it. Okay. They'll see that, okay, Russell's getting this, Russell of Hotels is getting this. Okay. So I got to be transparent with that, because the last thing I want to know, or last thing I want to get out, is that I didn't tell anybody and then they find out from the hotel, well, we're paying him a commission. Like, what? He didn't tell me that. That's the last thing that you want, right? So why communication and transparency with clients is so important. So let's just move on. And now that I set the table, right? So boom, building trust. Transparent communication fosters trust between you and your clients. Whether they are individual guests or corporate planners, when clients feel they can rely on you to provide accurate and honest information, they are more likely to choose your hotel in their for their accommodations. Okay, so yeah, and then on my end, they're more likely to use me in the future, right? So okay, so managing expectations is the next one. Clear communication helps manage guest expectations effectively by openly discussing what services and amenities your hotel offers, as well as any limitations or restrictions. You can ensure guests have realistic expectations and are less likely to be disappointed during their stay. So this is more from the hotel to the client. It's less from what I'm talking about or my perspective, but it's still effective. It's still something that you need to know, okay? So, and the next one is resolving issues. Resolving issues. Transparent communication is crucial when addressing guest complaints or resolving issues. By openly acknowledging problems and discussing potential solutions, you demonstrate your commitment to customer satisfaction and can work towards resolving issues in a timely and satisfactory manner. Okay. The next one is building relationships. Effective communication helps build strong relationships with clients and guests. By maintaining open lines of communication and keeping clients informed about promotions, special offers, and upcoming events, you can strengthen their loyalty to your hotel and encourage repeat business. Yeah, your hotels want repeat business, right? You don't want to keep, especially salespeople, you don't want to keep going after the same business. You don't want to lose it on one hand. You don't want to get it on one hand and let someone else lose it, because it takes more effort, more money to try to get those people to come back. So be transparent with your clients, with your guests, whatever, because you want them to keep coming back in the form of repeat business, meaning I don't have to put forth any other effort than to send them information about promotions and things like that that may be coming up in our hotel. If it's seasonal, holiday season, whatever the heck it is, make sure you're keeping them abreast of what's going on, because you don't want them to, they always book with you, but then they say, hey, you didn't tell them about this promotion that you're having. Oh, I understand you have a promotion. Well, you didn't tell me about it. I mean, I can already hear how that's going to go. Well, you didn't let me know. I just booked this, and I didn't know you had this promotion. Now you got to backtrack. Oh, I'll make sure. Oh, Miss Smith, don't worry. I'll make sure you get that promotion. Well, you kind of lose some credibility right there because you didn't let them know ahead of time. Okay, so it goes back to that building a relationship. Okay, and the last one, enhancing reputation. Transparent communication contributes to your hotel's reputation for professionalism and reliability. When clients and guests have positive experiences with your hotel's communication practices, they are more likely to recommend your property to others, helping to attract new business and maintain a positive reputation in the industry. And that's what you want, right? You want them to be your advocates for you. And how can they be advocates for your hotel? Making sure you follow all those steps, right? Building trust, managing expectations, resolving issues, building relationships, and then enhancing your reputation. Those are the things that are going to, come back in a form of repeat business. And that's what every hotel wants, right? Overall communication and transparency are essential tools for hotel sales managers to cultivate positive relationships with clients, manage guest expectations, resolve issues effectively, and enhance their reputation for their hotel. So you want to make sure all that stuff happens. I do things and I learn from experience, right? So I had a situation before. I always try to, bring it back to, my own reality, right? The things that I've had to deal with, where I lost trust. The client lost trust in me or my hotel, because we basically, and it wasn't just me, it was it was more a general manager than me, but hey, I was part of the thing too, right? But I didn't know where he was coming from, right? I didn't know where he was coming from. So this is what happened. Okay, we had booked this group at this one hotel, and we were undergoing a renovation. So when the client signed, it was probably over a year out. Okay, a year before this event was actually going to happen, we were undergoing a renovation. And she said, I know this may be just a crazy question. I know you guys just started this renovation, but it's going to be done, right? In time for our program, right? And like, oh yeah, it's going to be done in like 6 months. It's going to take about 6 months to do, right? Well, every time she would come back into the hotel, we were still undergoing renovation. So from the day she signed, we're doing renovation. Come back maybe say 90 days later, renovation going on. 6 months. Renovation going. Okay, remember, we had told her that it was going to be done in 6 months. No, wasn't done. Keep going. To the 2 weeks before, it was still going on. This is going to be done, right? Oh, yeah, so they're just, fine-tune some stuff. They're wrapping it up. It'll be done by end of the week. 2 weeks later, their program is beginning. The renovation is still going on. Okay. Do you think we lost some credibility because of that? You think I lost credibility? Oh yeah, I lost all kind of trust, credibility, you name it. I lost it because basically we lied, or I lied to her. I mean, and I knew for a fact that we weren't going to be done, right? But I didn't let her know. I wasn't transparent like I should have been. Like I'm telling you need to be. You have to be transparent. Okay. You got to let them know that, hey, we're having some issues. We had a work stoppage or whatever it is. I should have made sure that we did. But, of course, you get the word from your boss or ownership, don't let them know this because we don't want them to pull out and all this kind of stuff. You know what? Always trust your gut. And sometimes it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is to ask for permission. I should have just said, hey, Miss Client, we're not going to be ready, but this is what we're going to do. in lieu of not being ready. But these are things we're going to do. But we didn't do that. Ended up, her hating the hotel. And I would have done the same thing, right? Hating me, hating my general manager, who just kind of just went just on his own and just kind of just went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs over this thing. When we knew we weren't going to be ready, right? Just own up to it. At that point, you have to own up to everything, right? And whatever they ask for, you got to give it to them, okay? He fought everything she asked for. He fought her on. And I pulled him aside. I said, I know I haven't lost my mind, but have you lost your mind? Because we're in the wrong here. We knew a year ago, or at least 6 months, that this hotel was not going to be ready for their group. So whatever they're asking for, she's within reason, right? So let's just give it to her. He fought tooth and nail until finally he said it's not going to go away. I said the only way it's going to go away is that we compensate her for this, because we had built trust and we ruined that. We tried to manage expectations, but out the door, out the window. Resolving issues, out of control. Building a relationship, we had built a relationship, now we lost it. Enhancing reputation at the hotel sucks now because of that. For that particular client, that hotel sucks. There's no other way we can recover, or that hotel can recover. I've been gone for like 6 years, but hey, that hotel has not recovered. That hotel has never got that piece of business again. Okay, and it was probably the best piece of business that hotel had, right? And never going to get it again because of that. Okay, so when I come up with these topics, they come with, some experience, right? I've dealt with some of the things I talk about, I've actually dealt with. And that was one of the low points of my career. I'm like telling this guest or this client that, things were going to be ready and they weren't. Okay. So first of all, salespeople cannot control what goes on in construction. Okay. No one can. Okay. General managers, whatever, they can't. So, you just have to explain to the client that it's supposed to be done on this day, but I'll keep you abreast. And like I said, you have to communicate and you have to be transparent. You have to let them know this is what's going on. Hey, I'm sorry, and sometimes they may decide to take their ball and go somewhere else. But that means you have to set it up for them to do that. Okay, we're going to take the money that you already given us, and we're going to apply this to this other hotel that we just found for you. Okay, so you have to offer those options. We didn't do that. So we failed, right? So like I said, I don't just come out here just talking about different things because I think that's what people want to hear. No, I want to share my story with people, or what happened to me as a director of sales and marketing when I didn't do what I was supposed to do, that I should have done, and lost trust of the client. And that's never what you want. Okay, so boom, there you go. I'm being transparent with you guys. Okay, there you go. So anyway, that was something else, right? Ain't nobody making no comments about that? Okay, anyway, moving forward. What the heck? I expect some comments on that one. But anyway, let's move forward. So who am I? What do I do? Okay, so there's several things that I do. I mentioned hotel site selection. That's one of the things. And then content creating. This right here, this whole show is creating content, right? It's creating content not just for me, Russell of Hotels, but for anything that's being shown, okay? So I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing, but I was downtown LA last week at the JW Marriott, right? And right across from LA Live, and I'm sure a lot of people have seen this because it's been on every news channel, probably worldwide, the graffiti that's on the buildings in downtown LA. Is construction that hasn't, I guess it stopped construction back in 2017, 18, something like that. So that was it'll pan back around in a minute. But this is LA Live, right? So I said, how close is this? So I said, I'm in the middle of LA Live, and that's from my phone, right? So that's it's 3 towers. It's one building, but it's 3 towers, and it's one building. So that's just one of them. You can see to your right, or my right, the other buildings, right, or the other towers. So that's the building that has all that graffiti on it, right? So is that a good thing, bad thing? Some people are like, the graffiti artists, like, oh, that's so cool. People came from around the world to tag this building or whatever. And then, people in LA are like, wait a minute, that's right across from LA Live. That's downtown, right? Is that a good thing? Not necessarily. No, it's not a good thing, okay? Because, people could be this is the thing that gets me. People can be on the fence about coming to LA and having a meeting downtown based on that, right? So you get people that, they're artists and all that. Okay, well, remember, that's trespassing, first and foremost. It's not your property to do that. No one gave you permission to do that, okay? So, but people don't know what the effects, the lasting effects will be if someone tags that. No one thinks about that, right? We just think about, oh, it's so cool. They took the risk and did it. I hear everything, right? Now, why was it not being secure anyway? It's been vacant for several years. Why wasn't it being secure? So that's a whole nother issue. But anyway, that's the building right there. It's actually on Figueroa. A lot of people don't even know that's on Figueroa. So it's on Figueroa, right across from LA Live. Okay, so that's where that is. I was at the JW Marriott. So I'm the brand who helps your brand. Okay, so I'm the brand that helps your brand stay noticed. Okay, so I'm, throwing it out there that, okay, this is LA Live. So this is creating content for LA Live, creating content for downtown LA, creating content for the JW Marriott, and of course, it's creating content for me, Russell of Hotels. So content creation is another thing that I do. I will show off your brand like I'm doing. Every scene that I go to, I'm showing off either a destination or a hotel brand, a part of a hotel or whatever. So in addition to the hotel site selection that I've already explained that I do, those are things that I do. Oh, okay, there you go. Wait, I'm trying to change things. Okay, there you go. So this is the JW Marriott downtown LA, as you can see. And then, of course, you got Marriott Bonvoy. Are you guys members of Marriott Bonvoy? I mean, you should be. If you're not, you should be. That's the loyalty program for Marriott. Everybody, I mean, there's millions of people that are. I'm sure most of the people that are listening here, watching, are members of that as well. If not, go check it out, MarriottBonvoy.com, right? So you get those points, you get that free Wi-Fi, you get all that kind of stuff, right? So, and it's free. It's free to be a member of Marriott Bonvoy. So if you're not a member and you travel, you stay in hotels or whatever, might as well be a member, right? So boom, there you go. Is your brand staying relevant? That's the key, right? So, and these are just kind of steps to keeping your brand relevant. Number one, continuous market research. I consistently, check out hotel markets. What's going on? Stay abreast of what's going on. Like compare one hotel to another. I do these things myself, right? I'm kind of a geek and a nerd, as a result, as it comes to that, I guess. Number two, adaptability and innovation. You have to change with the times. And this goes to the hotels, right? So first of all, look at your comp set. What's your comp set doing? I always say, whatever your comp set is doing, do something different. Think outside the box. Not just outside the box, but what about outside the circle? What about outside the triangle or the rectangle? We always say think outside the box, but everything is a different shape, right? Everything's not square, okay? It's not a circle. It could be a triangle. It could be anything, octagon. Think outside of those things is what I'm saying, right? So continuous market research, adaptability and innovation. Number three, strong online presence. I don't care what business you have, strong online online presence. Of course, I only stick with hotel or anything within hospitality. So that's hotels, they can be transportation companies, they can be CVBs or destinations. Those are things, I stay within those things, right? The realm of hospitality. But a strong online presence is great because you're reaching more people. You're able to reach more people than you can than you would if you just, every now and then I go to a networking event, okay? You're reaching people around the world, okay, with your comments or with your content that you're creating, okay? Number four, authentic brand storytelling. Tell your story. Remember, I just told the story about, how I lost pretty much credibility from a client because of the things that we promised and we couldn't deliver. Tell your story. Everyone has a story, but not a lot of people are transparent enough or sure of themselves or confident enough to tell their stories, right? So make sure you tell your story, good, bad, or indifferent. Every story that we tell is not going to be good. Every experience that we have is not going to be good. And I just shared with you that story is not a good story. Did it have a happy ending? Yeah, when I left that hotel, it was a happy ending, but it was not happy for the client. And and like I said, I told that story and I learned from that, and I'll never do that again. I'll make sure I'm always above board with the client, right? And I see some of that same stuff happening, right? So that's why I can, sit up here and talk about those things, because those are things that were, I fell short. I mean, we always go for, we always think we're going to do the right thing all the time, but sometimes we fall short in, these expectations that we set for ourselves, or we set for our hotels or our companies, our businesses or whatever. We sometimes fall short. Okay. When all I had to do was just say, hey, I'm going to be transparent and let this person know this is what's going on. This is what we're facing. These are the issues that we're having. Okay. So you have to do that. And it comes back to that storytelling, right? Number 5, customer engagement and feedback. Let the customer tell you, ask for feedback. First and foremost, welcome feedback, welcome engagement. Like on this show, I asked people to come on and say and make their comments. I went through every comment. I put every comment on this screen, right? If it was from family, it didn't matter. If it had anything to do with the subject, it didn't matter. If I say that I welcome feedback and engagement, I have to show that, right? Well, then how credible am I if I say, hey, I want you guys to make your comments, and then I see the comments, I never address them? You guys will be like, what a jerk he is, right? This guy's peeing on our head and saying it's raining. That means I'm lying, okay? Some people never heard that term before. I'm sure my mom's going to make a comment about that. Did you have to say that? No, I didn't have to, but it's good though, right? It's funny. Anyway, so make sure, you ask for customer engagement and you respect what they have to say, and then you give your feedback, right? You let them know, okay, well, this is, hey, address their concerns. Like, hey, I understand you had these comments or whatever. We're addressing them, and, we apologize, whatever the heck it is. And then collaborate and partner with ROH, Russell of Hotels. So if you're unable to do some of these things, you need a strong online presence. You're not sure how to do that. You want to know how to be authentic in your brand storytelling? Ask me. Engagement, how to, engage with your customer, or how to let the customer engage. Ask me. That's what I'm here for. Continuous market research, whatever those things are, adaptability, innovation, whatever those things are, collaborate and partner with me, and then we'll go from there. The next one, boom. Who's hiring? Who is hiring? And these are, I limit this to the greater LA area. I'm not trying to see who's hiring all over the United States. I mean, that would be nice, but I'm just going to limit it to where I live, right? So some of the hotels that I do know. So first one is LA Athletic Club Hotel. LA Athletic Club is part athletic club and hotel. Did you know that? The one that's downtown LA? A lot of people don't even know that. But they're looking for a marketing manager. That's downtown LA, LA Athletic Club. They're looking for a marketing manager. The Hotel Figueroa, they're looking for engineer 1. I guess that's the top of the engineers. I'm not sure how they, the numbers work, but they're looking for an engineer. Not a chief engineer, but they're looking for an engineer. So, and that's downtown LA as well. Highgate Hotels, that's a management company. They're looking for front desk agents. That just said greater LA area. I'm not sure which hotels are Highgate, meaning which hotels are managed by Highgate Hotels. I'm not sure. I know that I think Hotel Fig is, and then I believe there's one at the LAX. What is that? The 4 Point Sheraton. I'm pretty sure that's managed by Highgate Hotels as well. So it has to be one of those 2 hotels. So either at the airport or downtown LA. And then the Millennium Hotels and Resorts, that's Millennium Biltmore downtown. They're looking for a regional marketing manager. So obviously they manage more than just the Biltmore downtown, because they're asking for a regional, meaning that's more than one hotel. I don't know, but that was these are all on either HCareers or Indeed.com. That's where I find these. Okay. Sometimes people will call me and say, hey, can you mention this? Well, no one did that this time. Okay. So these actually came from Indeed or hotel or HCareers.com. Those are things that we use as hotel people, just in case you did not know. Indeed.com or HCareers.com. So there you go. So I'm giving you guys information. Just giving you info. Don't worry, I'm almost done here. We're coming down to the stretch, the home stretch, and the 3 Ps. What are the 3 Ps? These are ROH's 3 Ps. Russell of Hotels, 3 Ps. Purpose, passion, and perseverance. Purpose, know why you do what you do. Why do I do this show? Because I want to be able to engage with people, share my story, be a brand show off. Those are all the things above. Let you know that I do hotel site selection, content creating. Those are things I do. You can come on the show. Hospitality people can come on and talk about themselves, talk about their brands. They can brag about themselves, or they can come on and let me brag about them. Okay, because that's what it's all about. So it's a platform for you to come and talk about your brand, your personal brand. In fact, speaking of personal brand, I've been invited to do a personal brand, like I guess like a podcast, right? With Victor Simmons, right? Victor Simmons, a dear friend of mine, good friend of mine. He has a LinkedIn page, or we're gonna do a LinkedIn show, a show on LinkedIn about your personal brand. That's gonna be the 29th. So that's is that next Thursday? Yeah, that's next Thursday. Next Thursday. So the 29th at 3:00 California time. 3:00 California time? Yeah, 3:00. Wait a minute. Is it 3:00 my time? I'll let you know. Okay, so it's either 3:00 my time or his time. I'm not sure. Let me just remember. Let me just make sure I got that. I got 3 p.m. is what it says. So it must be 3:00 my time, because that'd be 6:00 his time. So yeah, let's say 3 p.m. California time. Now that I've confused everybody and myself, I want to say it's 3 p.m. California time, but I will confirm that later this week. But yeah, we're going to talk about building your personal brand, how I started, all that kind of stuff. I started with nothing, right? I started off as just Russell, and then for whatever reason morphed into this Russell of Hotels that you see today, right? So, but anyway, so yeah, so that's part of the purpose why I do what I do. So that's how this whole thing started. Passion. Either you have it or you don't. Guess what you should do? If you don't have passion for what you do, what should you do? That's curious. I'm curious, Russell. What should you do? Do something else. You don't have passion for what you're doing, do something else. Why waste your time if you don't have the passion for what you're doing? Do something else. Perseverance. Be consistent, continue to evolve. Don't give up, and swerve when you need to. There's a difference for me when it comes to, people use that P word, that pivot word. I don't use the pivot word. I swerve, okay? So what's the difference between pivoting and swerving? I know someone asked that question to themselves, right? Well, and I'm going to give you an answer, okay? So pivoting, you see something in the horizon and you continue to go through it, okay? And you get stuck in it and you're like, okay, what do I do now? Well, the only thing you can do is pivot. You're stuck. You got to go around. You got to move from here to here, right? Okay, swerving, you see that same, whatever that is, obstacle in the horizon, but instead of going through it, you go around it. Okay, so you just swerve. I'm going to swerve around it. I'm not going to get in it and risk getting stuck in there. So that's the difference, okay? So we swerve, we don't pivot here on air with Russell of Hotels. So boom, there you go. So that's it. So that, hey, did that make sense to anybody? I don't know, but hey, that's what I'm sticking with. I think that, let's see, what else after that? And once again, these the scenes that I'm going through, this is the JW Marriott LA Live, and then most of the photos I've showed are either LA Live or some hotels. They're all Marriott products in South Carolina as well, but the JW Marriott is LA Live. That's here in downtown Los Angeles, just in case you did not know that. And my last slide of the day is, once again, Marriott Bonvoy. If you don't know anything about Marriott Bonvoy, you need to be a member. If you're not a member, look it up, MarriottBonvoy.com. Join. It's free, okay? You stay in hotels, you get points. It's a loyalty program. You build up your points, you get free Wi-Fi, and free Wi-Fi in your rooms, in your guest room, okay? And you get a lot of other perks as well. Maybe some discounts, maybe some free things. You don't know until you join, right? So it doesn't cost anything to join. So any questions at all that you have for me, I put my email address out here because I'm serious about, being in constant communication with people, me being a resource. So if you have questions at all, feel free. If you have, maybe you want to talk about something, you want to come on the show, you want to display your hotel on this show, feel free to give me a call, and I'll let you know what it takes to do that. It's not just as simple as, oh yeah, let me send you some photos and we'll do it. No, it's not. We don't do that. But it's easy though. It is easy. So anyway, questions at all? Russell at russellofhotels.com. Once again, this was show number 241. Check out Marriott Bonvoy, and remember that I do not just On Air with Russell of Hotels, but I also do the daily check-in with Russell of Hotels. That's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. On Air with Russell of Hotels is every Tuesday at 1 o'clock, okay? Goes for an hour. We're about done. In fact, I got 4 minutes to spare, okay? So, but the scene in back of me, those are things that I do. I'm a hospitality personality. I'm all about non-meat eats, which means I don't eat meat, just in case you did not know that. I do hotel site selection. I'm a brand show off. I'm about hotels. Those are the things that are on the billboard right there, right? So just in case you couldn't see because my head and my chair is in the way. But there you go. That is it. I want to thank you guys so much for joining. I want to thank everybody who joined in. I see Marsha, Andrew, Stacy, Chris, Tracy and Stacy. Who else was on there? Did I say Chris Black? Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate you. Dee Dee, cousin Dee Dee, or Adelia, okay. Ardelia, excuse me. We call her Dee Dee, okay. So thank you guys so much for coming on. Appreciate that. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate the love and support that people have been giving me since I started this show. And thank you for, supporting me for this 241 shows. And if you didn't like what I had to say today, just come back tomorrow for the daily check-in and give me another shot, okay? So anyway, that is it. Thank you guys so much. Again, it's raining in LA, so if you're in LA, make sure you guys, take your time to get to your destination. There's no need to speed. We can't drive when it rains anyway in Southern California for whatever reason. It always happens. So just take your time and you'll get there. Until tomorrow, you guys have a great day. And as always, peace.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.